I have yet to face, and it is Polish-American night at the ballpark. We've had the pregame presentations of the inductees into the Polish Hall of Fame. We've got the folks out with their colorful dancing costumes and all the musical aggregations, and it's been a lot of fun here at the ballpark. So if you're anywhere around, come on out and join us. We've got a beautiful evening and a lot of baseball on tap. It'll be Jack Billingham, the Tiger right-hander, on the mound against the left-hander from Kansas City, Paul Splittorff. And this will be the first game of a three-game set between these two rivals. The Royals, the champions of the West, invading Tiger Stadium tonight. Paul Carey's here. My name's Ernie Harwell. 1 minute with the starting lineup.
Down. When you good, if it's running good, there's a motor in the place where the motor goes. And in the motor there's 4, 6, or 8 little holes where something that's called a spark plug goes. And that's what makes the motor run good under the hood. If the plugs you use are champion. Good champions do what you want to do. When you turn on the key, they're waiting on you. So if you've got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, can't buy a better plug than champions. We got a plug for any kind of car. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are. So if you got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, you can't buy a better plug than champions. Now. Of course, champions do what you want them to do. Give you better mileage and performance, too. So if you've got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, you can buy a better plug than champions. You can't buy a better plug than champions. Now.
Well, the pitch is beginning to warm up. The folks are still on the field from the pregame ceremony, and here to bring us the lineups and his comments, Mr. Paul Carey.
All right, Ernie, or should I say, Dzień dobry, everyone. Jak się masz? Dobrze wieczór. Sportsoci, I think it is. That means sports fan. I'm not sure. Joe Gentile and I were given some of the translations from the Polish, from Ed Browalski, who is chairman of the event here again tonight at Tiger Stadium. Another fine Polish-American night program has been completed. We've got a number of the people involved still on the field here as Joe presents the starting lineups. And we're going to have a large choir sing our national anthem as well as the anthem of Poland. Well, this is the opener of a 3-game series with the Kansas City Royals that kicks off a 5-game homestand. The Tigers meeting the Royals for the very first time this year. The Tigers had the day off yesterday after splitting a 2-game set in Milwaukee. The Royals coming in after dropping both ends of a twilight doubleheader last night in Texas. Both losses by 1 run. The second game going 13 innings. So it was a long night for the Royals down in Arlington, finishing up very late last night and then coming on up here to Detroit to begin this series. Perhaps you heard the pregame program as Ernie interviewed the manager of the Royals, Whitey Herzog. The Royals have been an erratic ball club so far this year, loaded with ability, of course. Team that won 102 ball games last year, but they have been streaky this year. And no other example is the record of the pitcher that's going against Detroit tonight, Paul Splittorff. Paul won his first 4 games of this season and then went 0-4 in his next 6 outings. He's turned it around, though, and has won his last 3. So Splittorff comes into the ball game tonight with a record of 7-4, opposing Jack Billingham, who's won 4 and lost 3. And I'll check those starting lineups right after we pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
You're listening to WJR Detroit, and the weather mostly fair and mild through the weekend. Low tonight 48 to 50, high tomorrow 80 to 83, Sunday's high mid-80s with a chance of a few evening showers. At 8:01, it's a sunny 74 degrees.
Well, the visiting Kansas City Royals tonight against the right-hander Billingham, leading off playing in center field, will be Willie Wilson. Batting second, the designated batter for Kansas City, Hal McRae. Hitting third and at first base will be Clint Hurdle, Hurdle. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, George Brett. Hitting fifth in right field will be Al Cowens. Batting sixth, doing the catching, Darrell Porter. Hitting seventh, left fielder Tom Poquette. Batting eighth, At shortstop, U.L. Washington. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Frank White. Now for the Royals, it's Wilson leading off, playing in center. McCray, the DH, followed by Hurdle at first, Brett at third, Cowens in right, Porter catching, Poquette in left, Washington at short, and White at second. As Whitey Herzog pointed out, he's going with a lineup tonight that does not include Amos Otis, suffering from that Achilles tendon problem, and Freddie Patek, a fine little shortstop for the Royals, back home after receiving a cortisone shot. He is suffering from an arm problem. So U.L. Washington, a rookie, is in at short. Another rookie, Willie Wilson, in at center field for Kansas City. For the Tigers against the left-hander, Split Horse. Leading off and back in his leadoff position, playing center field, Ron LaFleur. Batting second, the left fielder, Steve Kemp. Hitting third, the Tigers' designated hitter, Rusty Staub. Batting fourth at first base, Jason Thompson. Hitting fifth, third baseman, Aurelio Rodriguez. Batting sixth, the catcher, Lance Parrish. Hitting seventh, in right field, John Walkenfuss. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Alan Trammell. And batting ninth, at second base, Lou Whitaker. Now we invite you to listen to Our Lady Queen of Apostles Choir and Philaret's Chorus, presenting choral renditions of the Polish national anthem and the American national anthem. A special rendition of the national anthems of Poland and the United States, sung by Our Lady Queen of Apostles Choir and Philaret's Chorus. It has been a very colorful program again tonight here on Polish American Night. We've had the special ceremonies as Mr. Ed Browalski, the committee chairman, introduced, among others here tonight, the three newest members to the Polish Sports Hall of Fame. On hand here tonight for Ed Lubansky of bowling fame, John Lujack of football fame, and Eddie Lopat of baseball fame. And Eddie Lopat is going to have a special distinction. He is going to be throwing out the first ball for the ball game. Right now, Eddie's got a baseball cap on. Doesn't look too bad in a baseball cap. Never did. Man who used to throw slower and slowest. They say he was a junk man. Well, he was a pretty good junk man, I'll tell you, with that baseball, and Lopat's still very active. Williams, a super scout in baseball. Now, the Drum and Bugle Corps, which has been entertaining here tonight at the stadium, beginning to make its way off the field. This is the Polish Legion of American Veterans Michigan Drum and Bugle Corps, directed by John Karaz. And they're heading off the field. We've had the meeting of the umpires and the managers already. The Tigers have not had a chance to really move out defensively on the field because of all those involved in the pregame program situated out on the diamond. The umpires will line up this way tonight. Behind the plate, it'll be George Maloney. At first, Jim McKeon. At second, Greg Tosk. And at third, Jerry Newdecker. Jack Bellingham is making his 11th start of the year, the first of his career against the Kansas City Royals. Jack won his first 3 games over in the American League. His 4th win came at Milwaukee in mid-May. He has lost to the Oakland A's when the A's' John Johnson threw a 4-hitter at the Tigers. Lost to the Orioles in Baltimore and to the Twins here early in June. And that was his last outing when the Minnesota Twins beat Big Jack on the 2nd of June by a score of 4-2. Eddie Lopat has gone out to home plate right now. Lance Parrish has got a mask on. You probably won't need your mask, Lance, for the slow stuff from Eddie Lopat. But Ed is moving out to the mound. Bellingham has completed his warm-up tosses and headed back to the Tiger dugout. The longtime pitching great of the White Sox and Yankees poses for a picture, and here comes the pitch. My golly, it just barely made it to the plate. It bounced in front. In fact, Parrish goes back to a crouch to get his picture taken, and the pregame ceremonies have come to an end. Bellingham walking out to the mound, and as he tunes up, and before tonight's game gets underway, we'll pause for these messages.
Little Caesar Pizza, tastiest in town. A winner anyway slice it all the way around.
The carry-outs are good and hot, great for nighttime snacks. Or sit down at Little Caesars.
Just order and relax.
Little Caesars has sliced the price of pizza in half. If you clip out the 2-for-1 free pizza coupon that appears in your local newspaper or TV book, you'll get 2 medium Little Caesars pizzas for the price of 1. Now you can cut down on price without cutting down on taste. Little Caesars has the solution to those meals when Mom doesn't feel like cooking and the family appetite is bigger than the budget. Use your free pizza coupon from Little Caesars. A winner any way you slice it.
If you want variety, there's a family in for you. It's the winner, come in and see. Little Caesars Pizza, Little Caesars Pizza, a great tasting treat for you.
Get your Tigers bumper sticker from your Marathon Man, a full-service dealer. Now available at your participating Marathon service station. No purchase necessary.
Well, the Tigers getting a look at some new ball players they've never seen before. Willie Wilson, Clint Hurdle, UL Washington in the lineup here tonight. Wilson leading it off for Kansas City, and here at the microphone is Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul Carey. Bellingham, the veteran right-hander, ready to pitch. Wilson bunts the ball. Off the mound comes Bellingham. Can't pick it up, and he cannot make a throw. And the speedster is safe at first base. Willie Wilson running his way on. It'll be an error charged to Bellingham. He tried to rush it a little bit too much on account of Wilson's reputation as a speedster. Couldn't pick up the ball, couldn't find the handle, and Wilson is safe on the error. He went up there batting .241. Now here is Hal McRae, the designated batter, stepping up, a right-hand hitter against Bellingham. And McRae takes a strike on the outside corner.
Interesting ploy by Wilson. That great speed. He's got the reputation, and sure enough, he tried to show it right away. Bellingham would have had it had he picked it up cleanly, though.
McRae batting .288. There's a throw over to first base, and Willie Wilson back in time. Here's a fellow that's averaged 52 stolen bases per year since he came into organized baseball. He had 74 last season at Omaha. Here he goes. The pitch is taken for a ball throw by Parrish. It's in the center field. Wilson gets up, goes to third. He'll make it with ease. And Speed has put a man at third with nobody down for KC. It'll be a stolen base and a throwing error charged to Parrish. So the Tigers already have committed 2 errors. Wilson is at third base. Nobody down. A 1-1 count on McRae. That's the 22nd steal for Willie Wilson. McRae set a record last night in consecutive games performed, 214 straight, when he played in the second game of the doubleheader. He fouls this one away down the right field side. 1-2, the count on Hal McRae. That's the longest active streak in the major leagues right now. The old club records for KC belong to Paul Shaw in 71 and 72. Here's the windup by Billingham. The pitch. McRae swings at a bounding ball. Hit deep second. It'll get a run in. Whitaker grabs the ball, throws to first. In time for the out, but Wilson comes across the plate, and the Royals have a 1-0 lead. Now, the Tigers were playing their infield back then. They'd give up a run in exchange for an out at this stage of the game. Here's Hurdle, the rookie first baseman, Clint Hurdle, H-U-R-D-L-E, left-hand batter. 20-year-old native of Big Rapids, Michigan. He takes a strike call. Hurdle played last year in Omaha, had a cup of coffee at Kansas City. Wind up in the pitch. Hurdle backs away from a high, tight one. He's hitting .241, 2 homers, and 19 RBIs. He's had a great record in the minor leagues in the hitting. Here's a bounding foul hit down past first base. May have heard Whitey Herzog tell us on the pregame show that he just has to be patient with Hurdle, and he feels that he'll find his way sooner or later. Here's the windup in the pitch. The left-hand batter looks at the ball outside. 2-2 the count. 1-0 Kansas City leads. Wind up by Billingham. He delivers as a bounding ball deep second. Over goes Whitaker. Has it. Throw to Thompson. Got him. 2 down. Both outs had gone the same way. Here is George Brett, who was out with an injury for quite a while, and that hampered the success of the Kansas City Royals. One of the top hitters in baseball, left-hand hitting George Brett. Batting champion a couple of years ago. Brett hitting .310, 4 home runs, and 21 RBIs. And he takes the ball low. He's played in 36 of the 51 games. There's a chopper hit foul on the ground down toward first base coach Steve Boris. Steve was telling us that he's taken up golf now. Said when I started last year, they called me Julie for Julie Andrews. But now I'm better, they call me Julie Boris.
Well, when Pete Stark beat him in the tennis court, I guess he had to change to go.
I think his wife's not too happy because she used to play a lot of tennis with him, Char, and now he's out on the golf course, and she's home. Here's a pitch. It is a ball outside on Brett. 2-1 the count on him now. Cowan's waiting on deck. Billingham winds, delivers. Brett takes an outside pitch. 3-1 on George. 1-0 Kansas City leading. Wilson safe on the error. Stowe second with the third on an error. Came home on the ground ball. Brett swings, base hit, right field. He laid into that one and hit it on a solid line drive to right. That is the first hit of the game. Brett on, and Cowens will be the batter. Al Cowens, the outfielder, right-hand hitter. He's hitting .263 with a couple of home runs and 22 RBIs. Last year, he had a great year. He helped spark this team to the Western Division title. He hit .312, had 112 RBIs, and was second in the most valuable player voting, second to Rod Carew. Brett on, and 2 out. 1-0 the Royals lead in the first inning. Cowens looks at a strike. Mr. Maloney said so. Kansas City won 8 and lost 3 against the Tigers last year. They were 5-1 in this ballpark. There goes Brett. The pitch is taken for a strike. The throw to Whitaker is in time. He's out. Whitaker made the tag. Brett is cut down, testing the arm of Parrish. It's 1 run on 1 hit. 2 errors. Nobody left on base. And at the end of a half an inning, Kansas City won. The Tigers coming to bat.
Christina Ford is a woman with a lot to say. And in this Sunday's Detroit News, she says it all. In an exclusive copyrighted interview with Margie Coons, she talks about how she met Henry Ford II, how Charles Revson proposed to her, how she feels about the media, gossipers, women, marriage, and life. This is the first interview Christina has granted since her separation. Don't miss it in this Sunday's Detroit News. For home delivery, call 222-2600. Reading the Detroit News AM edition can make you smarter, and from now until June 30th, richer, with a new game called Joker Poker. You play it like poker, with cards that appear Monday through Friday in the AM edition of the News. 2 of a kind could win you $50. A Royal Flush, $5,000. Joker Poker. No purchase necessary. Rules and entries available through the Detroit News or in the new AM edition. Like they say, it's the first good news of the day. Only now, it's even more so.
Well, the Tigers coming to bat now against the left-hander Splitoff, who's been one of the outstanding pitchers in Kansas City history, no question about that. He was their first 20-game winner, and he leads the Royals in just about every major pitching department. 1973 was when he became the first 20-game winner in Kansas City history. Now he faces Ron LaFleur to lead it off for the Tigers. And Ron takes a curveball low from the left-hander Splitoff, ball 1. LaFleur batting .271, 5 homers, 23 RBIs. Split delivers a bounding ball at the shortstop. Glove there by Washington and fired over the hurdle in plenty of time for the out. LaFleur didn't hit that ball very well. He hit it down on the hands, and it didn't have much momentum behind it. So there's 1 up and 1 away, and the Tigers send up Steve Kemp, the left fielder. Steve batting .282 with 3 homers and 21 runs batted in. One nothing, Royals lead, first inning. We've got a breeze coming in from right field. There's a fastball low and off the mid of Darrell Porter. Back to the screen. Rusty Staub waits on deck for the Tigers. Brett is in close at third. They've got Washington at short. White at second and Hurdle at first. Kemp starts the bunt and takes a high outside fastball, 2-0. Poquette is in left, Wilson in center, and Cowens in right for KC. There's a bounding ball to second. Glove there by White. The flip over to Hurdle in time, and Kemp is out. 2 up and 2 down for the Tigers. And here's trusty Rusty Staub stepping up with a .297 average. 7 home runs and 39 runs batted in for Rusty. He'll be followed by Jason Thompson. Now, these left-hand hitters will have to contend with quite a breeze blowing in from right field. There's a fastball in too close on Staub, ball 1. Brett is wide of the bag at third. The other infielders has swung around to the right side a little bit. Now, the left-hander Splitoff kicks and deals, and it is a ball outside on the slider. Got a pretty good fastball and a curve, basically, is his pitching repertoire. Usually good control for Splitoff. 2-0 pitch, swung on a bounding ball to first. Easy play for Hurdle. He makes it unassisted. The Tigers go 1-2-3. And at the end of 1, Kansas City 1, Detroit nothing.
You're the designated hitter in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. Here's the pitch. When and where was the first game played at night? Take some time to think it over and relax with a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer.
It was in Cincinnati on May 24th, 1935, when President Roosevelt turned on the lights for the first time. A crowd of 25,000 fans saw this historical game between the Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt calls for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt. It's Canada's #1 beer, as fresh and crisp as where it comes from. WJR congratulates Harry Whiteley, recent recipient of an Ambassador of Michigan Tourism Award for 15 years of distinguished service on the Natural Resources Commission.
Well, we'd like to send birthday greetings to a lady 96 years old yesterday. Augusta Gorky of St. Clair Shores, longtime Tiger fan, and thanks for her loyalty through all those years. Cowens at the plate. He was at bat when Brett was thrown out trying to steal second base, and he'll resume his stance now in the batter's box. Beginning the second inning here at Tiger Stadium, 1-0, the KC Royals lead it. Billingham delivers. Here's a fly ball, right center field. Walking Fuss racing over, and he has it on the run toward center field. It hung up long enough for John B. to get there. Darrell Porter will be the next man to bat. Porter hitting .298. He has 6 home runs and 23 RBIs. One-time Milwaukee star, Darrell Porter, came to Kansas City last year and improved his average almost 70 points. 16 home runs that he compiled last year, the most by Kansas City catcher in the club's history. 1-0, the Royals lead it. Here's Billingham delivering a strike called, a fastball about letter high. Next pitch from Jack is low, 1-1. Porter batted .263 against the Tigers last year. He takes the ball low. He's hit in 6 of the last 8 games. Now swings and misses. He looks as if he might be punching that ball to left field, but he didn't make a connection. 2-2 the count on Darrell Porter. Against Chicago on Sunday, he had 5 for 5. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on the curve. Struck him out. Porter goes down swinging. That's the first strikeout by Billingham. 2 down. And Tom Poquette won himself a regular spot here last year, a couple of years ago, rather, steps in. He came up in 76 and hit over 300. First rookie they've ever had to do that in Kansas City. Here's the pitch. It is a ball outside on Poquette. He's hitting .233. A couple of home runs, 12 runs batted in for Tom. There's a high fly ball. Might be. The wind may stop it. Let's see. Walking Fuss under it. Waiting. He's got it. The wind held that one up. That one was gone until that big breeze took it and blew it back into the glove of Walking Fuss. So they go down 1-2-3 in the KC second, and at the end of 1.5 innings, Royals 1, Tigers 0.
There's a big M sign round the corner, down the road and up the street. And there's a friend of mine round that corner. Someone you all know and someone you'll be glad to meet.
Somewhere near where you live, there's a big M sign that tells you this is someplace different. This is the working home of your marathon man. What that means to you is there's somebody there who still thinks wiping your windshield, checking the air in your tires, and the water in your battery a part of what you're supposed to get when you come into his station. That big M sign is a sign there's still a place to take your car and have it taken care of the way it's supposed to be. And that big M sign means it's a man worth knowing working under it.
Go get together with a friend who'll do it better. Go see your marathon man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
Mr. Splitoff, who set the Tigers down 1-2-3 in the first inning, goes to work against them in the second. It'll be Jason Thompson to try to get it started for the Detroiters. Jason hitting .290, 13 homers, and 33 runs batted in. Tiger Day tomorrow, same two teams do battle, then Sunday VFW Day. Game time Sunday between the Tigers and the Royals will be 1:30. And the Tuesday coming up is Elks Night. Splitoff won 16 last year. Had a finger injury the year before that. Dropped down to 11 wins that season. Here's the pitch by the left-hander. And Thompson takes a strike on the inside corner. 31-year-old left-hand pitcher, Paul Splitoff, delivers, and Thompson backs away. It is a ball in close on him. Splitoff gets his sign, goes into action. Thompson taps one back past the mound, cut off by Brett. He knocks it down, picks it up, can't make a play. Thompson is safe. Brett trying to cut it off in front of the shortstop, Washington. Got his glove on it, and an error will be charged. Well, that's one of those situations where a man is penalized because of his range. A lot of men who played third base couldn't even have reached that ball. Brett got over and trying to cut it off in front of the shortstop, and he bobbled it. Here's Rodriguez. Aurelio batting .313. Home run total is 4. He has 16 runs batted in. Right-hand batting third baseman at the plate. 1-0 Kansas City leads. Here's a ball low, dug out of the dirt by Porter. Hit by Splitoff, the left-hander ready, kicks and deals, and Rodriguez swings at a bounding ball foul just outside of third. Aurelio looks down at Freddie Hatfield, the third base coach, for a moment. He's hit safely in 4 of the last 5 games. Thompson at first, nobody out, 1-0 Kansas City in the second. And the pitch on the way. It is a ball in too close on the happy Mexican. Infield and double play depth on him, and the outfield about straight up. Hurdle holding on the bag with Thompson, not much of a lead there. There's a swing and a miss on a big changeup. And he pulled the trigger a lot too soon on that one. 2-2 the count. First meeting between these two ball clubs. Here's the set and the 2-2 pitch. Rodriguez cuts, and there's a foul out of play. That's false for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
The weekend weather outlook, great. Mostly fair and mild with low temperature tonight, 48 to 50. High tomorrow, 80 to 83. Mid-80s by Sunday with a possibility of a few evening showers on Sunday. Right now, mostly sunny and 72. WJR Detroit.
Next pitch is in too close and low. That'll make it a full count on Rodriguez. 1-0 Kansas City leading. They're in the field now. The Tigers at bat in the second inning. With Thompson at first and nobody out. 3-2 pitch. Here goes Thompson. The ball is swung on. Hit the left field deep. Going back is Poquette. And he won't get it. It is over the fence for a home run. A line drive home run, number 5 for Rodriguez. The ball hit very hard and it stayed up. Aurelio rounding third, headed home, scoring up to Thompson. The Tigers take a 2-1 lead over Kansas City in the second inning. There's another Superior home run. Aurelio's homer earns him a free case of crispy, fresh Superior potato chips. Sends another case of Superior potato chips to Haviland Fresh Home. Parrish at the plate. And he swings. There's a long belt to left field. That one may be gone. Backing up is Poquette. Oh, he got it. Right at the fence. Parrish hit one a long way, but he didn't quite pull it enough. And Poquette pulled it in right in front of the auxiliary scoreboard for the first out. Oh, here comes Wackenfuss now. Two to one, the Tigers in the lead against Splittorf and Kansas City. John B. Wackenfuss batting .286. Takes the fastball outside. Rodriguez seems to be a better hitter when they put the hit and run on. Make him swing at the ball. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count on him. Here's the motion. Splittorf delivers. There's a bounding ball to third. Brett has a tough hop, but garners it in, throws to first in time. Got him, and there are two down. Bobby Bragan, when he managed in the minors, had an interesting theory. Put on the hit and run with a man at third base. The ball goes through, he scores easily. If the ball's hit in the infield, he scores easily. If it's a fly ball, the man can start back and get back anyway, according to Bobby. If it's a line drive, well, you're dead no matter what happens. Here's a strike on the outside corner on Trammell. Allen hitting .292, pulling that average up. 2-1, Tigers lead KC. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball outside. Now, Mr. Charlie Lau Sr. here tonight. We had a nice visit with him, Charlie's dad. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Trammell looks at the ball low and in the dirt. 2-1 the count on him. Outfield not deep on Trammell. Tigers ahead 2-1 in the second. Here's the pitch. Trammell hits a bounding ball to short. Washington gloves it, throws over the hurdle at first, and the Tigers are retired. But they got a couple of runs. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error. Nobody left on base. But at the end of 2, Detroit 2, KC 1.
When I traded in my old wagon for an economy one, all my buddies said I'd have to give up a lot. You know, ride, room, and comfort. Well, I didn't give up. I got this Plymouth Valari wagon. I sure didn't give up big car rides. I didn't give up room for 6. I didn't give up comfort. Oh, I did give up one thing when I bought my Valari wagon. A lot of trips to the gas station.
Don't compromise when you economize. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a 1-barrel, 6-cylinder Valari wagon with manual transmission at 25 miles per gallon highway, 18 city. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Valari wagon, America's first choice of wagons over the past 2 years.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Give up Valari.
For a great value on Plymouth Valari, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Put your finger on the pulse of industry and finance with Business Barometer. This is Jim Martin inviting you to join me evenings at 6:30 here on WJR.
Well, we sent a Tiger salute on their 53rd wedding anniversary to a fine couple in Crosswell, Michigan, Mr. and Mrs. S.K. Burroughs. Our congratulations to them from the Tigers. Here's Washington at the plate now. UL Washington, the shortstop, takes a curveball over for a strike call. Washington, a switch batter, batting .313. He's appeared in only 17 games. And he starts the bunt and takes a curveball, breaks in on him, 1-1. Freddie Patek is injured. He's got a bad arm. He's taken some cortisone shots, and they've got him back in Kansas City awaiting the arrival of the team. He won't be in this series. There's a swing and a miss by UL, and the count is 1-2 on him. He played last year at Omaha and batted .255, and then came up and got in 10 games with the Royals at the end of the season. Young man from Oklahoma, 24-year-old switch hitter. Now digs in again. He's batting left-handed against Billingham. There's a bounding ball wide at first. Thompson has it. Race for the bag, won by Thompson. And there's one up and one away. That'll bring up Frank White, the local product in Kansas City. Came through the Royal Academy that they once had. Training youngsters for baseball. He grew up in the shadow of the old ballpark over there around Brooklyn Avenue. Frank White, right-hand batter. Very fine ball play. Excellent on defense. Hitting .281 this year. Tigers lead 2-1. Billingham, the veteran right-hander, pitches. It is a beauty as strike call. 2-run homer by Rodriguez, putting the Tigers in front. Watch out. It almost hit him. A breaking pitch in close. 1-1. Total's a little unusual at this stage. The Royals 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. The Tigers 2 runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors. Here's a slow curve. It hits the mark. 1-2. Bounding ball to short. Trammell hawks it. Fires over to first. He got him easy. 2 up and 2 down. The top of the order now. The Fleet leadoff man, Willie Wilson. One of the 3 rookies in the lineup tonight. And 2 of those rookies are switch batters. Wilson and Washington. Willie bunted, and Billingham bobbled the ball in the opening inning. He stole second, went to third when Parrish threw the ball away, and then scored on the bounce out off the bat of McRae. There's a ball in too close on Wilson. 241 batter. McRae waiting on deck. 2-1 Tigers lead. Billingham delivers. It is a ball outside. 2-0 the count on him. Polish American night tonight. There's a half cut. It's ruled a strike by Maloney. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now we check the sign. It's the other way around. 2-1. There's a swing and a miss. Make it 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. 2-1 Tigers. Third inning. Casey at bat against Billingham. He winds and pitches. Here's a ball. He missed the far corner with a fastball. Billingham's been pitching since 1961 in the organized ranks. He broke in at Orlando. Lives over there near Orlando now in Winter Park. Full count pitch. Swung on and beaten foul down at the plate. It's a chopper foul back toward the screen, and it is a full count still. Tough doubleheader for the Royals last night. They lost both games. The second one went 13 innings, and they didn't get to bed until about 7 o'clock this morning. That's when the flight in from Arlington. Here's a foul out of play. We have ticker trouble tonight, so we don't have any other scores to pass along to you yet. We hope to alleviate that problem and get some other scores. There's a little chopper hit over the head of Rodriguez in the left field for a base hit. He's going to turn and hold at first base. Little slicing pop fly over the head of Aurelio, dropped into left for a single. Aurelio dropped into left for a single. The second hit for the Royals, and now here's McRae. McRae versus Billingham. These two were together at Cincinnati. In 1972, they were on the same Cincinnati ball club. Billingham stayed around in Cincinnati for a while, and McRae left and was traded to Kansas City. 2-1, the Tigers lead in the third. 2 out of the man at first base. Keep an eye on Wilson. He's a speedster. He doesn't go. The pitch is swung on a bounding ball to Trammell. He has it. Flips it over to Whitaker. They get the force out on Willie Wilson, and the side retires. No runs on, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left in the KC third. At the end of 2.5 innings, Detroit 2, the Royals 1.
Well, there's some special days coming up during this homestand here at Tiger Stadium. Tomorrow, for instance, is Tiger Day. On Sunday, we've got VFW Day with a state commander, Assad Ali, here to throw out the first ball in the pregame ceremonies. It'll be family night on Monday night for the opener of the two-game set with the Milwaukee Brewers. And then on Tuesday will be Elks Night, featuring an historical flag pageantry narrated by Dr. William Farrell of Ferndale, chairman of the Elks Flag Day Committee. Flag Day being a couple of days later, but the Tigers will be on the road at that time. Incidentally, when you do come to the stadium and at any other opportunity, be sure to vote for the All-Star team. The Tigers have 5 players on the punch card ballot. They're Ron LaFleur, Milt May, Steve Kemp, Jason Thompson, and Rusty Staub. The voting will close for the Tiger fans on June 25th for the All-Star game in San Diego, July 11th.
Kowalski care packages, including sample selections of Kowalski meat products, are presented to all the Polish Americans involved in the game tonight, including the Tigers' Mankowski, Trzaskowski, and the bat boy Richard Zelensky. They were presented by the 350 Kowalski employees and their families attending the ball game tonight. Here's Lou Whitaker at the plate now, and Lou takes a fastball low, ball 1. Sweet Lou Whitaker batting in the number 9 slot for the Tigers. Left-hand batter takes, and it is over for a strike call. Whitaker hitting .315, off to a great start with the bat. No home runs, 9 runs batted in. They play him straight away, but very shallow. He swings at a bounding ball to second. White goes to his left, has it on the hop, throw to first, to Hurdle, and there's one away. That'll bring the top of the order to the plate. Ron LaFleur back in the leadoff spot. He had been dropped to number 7 in the last game at Milwaukee against the right-hander. Now against the left-hander, Ralph Houk put him back on top. Ron takes. It is a ball outside, ball 1. He'll be followed by Steve Kemp. There's a fastball low and away. 2-0 to count on him. Tigers scored when Thompson reached first base on the error by Brett to start the second. Rode home on a Rodriguez home run. They got there 2 that way. There's the ball outside. Kansas City had picked up a run in the first inning. Wilson safe on error, stole second, went to third on the throwing error by Parrish, and came in on the bounce out by McRae. 3-0 pitch. LaFleur taking. It is ball 4. He's on. That's the first walk of the game. Kemp will be the next Tiger to bat. Steve bounced to second baseman White. Now, the only time he's been to bat in this game. This is the first meeting of the year between these two teams. Tall left-hander split off, looking in at Kemp, left-hander batter waiting. 2-1 Tigers lead them. There's a ball over, but it's low, ball 1. Tigers have only 1 hit, that homer by Rodriguez. Throw to first, LaFleur back in time. Here he goes. The pitch is taken. Here's the throw by Porter. Not in time. A stolen base by Ron LaFleur. Got a big jump on Porter, who had no chance at all to cut him down. And Ron's stolen base will send a $25 gift certificate from Acme Sporting Goods to the Royal Oak Boys Club. The 3 Acme stores have more, and they have it for less. Number 20 for LaFleur in the stolen base column. Kemp takes another low one, 3-0. Most all those pitches have been low to Steve. Rusty Staub waiting at the on-deck circle. Tigers have the lead in the 3rd inning, 2-1 over the Royals. Spridoff kicks and deals. Here's a strike called. It came in just above the knees, a fastball. LaFleur edging down off second a little bit. And the pitch on the way. High for ball 4. That's the second walk-out split. And the batter will be Rusty Staub. Rusty, the first time up, bounced out unassisted to the first baseman Hurdle. He's second now in RBIs. He had 4 in Milwaukee the other night. That put him in second spot with 39. Left-handed batter stands forward in the batter's box. Choking the bat, leaning over, waiting on Spridoff's pitch. And he takes a cut and fouls it away out of the middle quarter. Two-1 Tigers lead it on the Polish American night at Tiger Stadium. There's a line shot on one hop to the first baseman. Hurdle goes to second for 1. Relay back, not in time. And LaFleur takes third. Kemp is out on the force out. The first baseman of the shortstop. Tough play for the base runners. It was a low line drive and finally short hopped. It could have been caught on the line drive. It was a possibility, although he couldn't make the play that way. And it ends up as a simple force out at second base. Here's Jason Thompson, runners at first and third and 2 down. Tigers lead 2-1. Spridoff looking him over. Jason was safe on the arrow by Brett in the first time at bat. Takes the ball outside. Well, Betty Labansky, the wife of Ed Labansky, one of the honorees here tonight, missed the awards last night and tonight because she's confined to Beaumont Hospital. The first time she's missed an award for Ed in 29 years. Here's a ball high to Thompson, 2-0. Now, Spridoff having the plate move around a little bit on him here. He's walked 2 men. Now they are 2 down and runners at first and third. Tigers trying to add to their 2-1 margin. Jason Thompson swings and pops it up. That should end the inning. It's a foul ball off a third. Brett is under it. He has it, and the side retired. Tigers, no runs, no hits, a couple of walks, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 3, Detroit 2, Kansas City 1.
No charge checking. Other banks make it tougher. City National makes it easier. Now, while other banks are increasing the minimum savings balance you need for no charge checking, CNB lowers it with combo checking.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
That's right. Some banks are raising the minimum savings requirement to a whopping $500, but CNB lowers it to $200. A $200 minimum balance in savings or a $200 minimum balance in your checking account, and you check without charge. $200 in savings or $200 in checking. And you write all the checks you want without charge. All your checks without charge. Other banks make no charge checking tougher. Combo checking makes it easier. Who's got it?
Nobody but City National Bank.
Member FDIC.
In championship billiard games, players average 1 to 3 miles as they walk from chair to table and around the playing area. I'm Jim Forrest, WJR Sports.
Home run by Rodriguez, putting the Tigers into the 2-1 lead. We go to the 4th inning now. Let's tune in on Mr. Paul Carey.
Okay, Ernie, here's Clint Hurdle leading off for Kansas City in the top of the 4th inning against Jack Billingham. Hurdle bounced out to second, his only time up in the ball game. A great prospect, Clint Hurdle, as a rookie here this year in the American League. He takes it wide for ball 1. Clint was born in Big Rapids, but was brought up down in Merritt Island, Florida. Billingham's pitch is a fastball a little low. 2-0, the count on Hurdle. Gradually getting some information now on our ticker service, but lack the starting pitchers for the most part. A bouncer to second. Big hop for Whitaker. He throws to Thompson. One away. That'll bring up George Brett, who singled to right. His only time up, has one of the two hits off Bellingham. Brett not quite ready to get in the batter's box. To wind up the pitch to Brett. He takes it low and away. Ball one. American League batting champion in 1976. The pitch is a wide changeup. It's 2-0 now on Brett. One out, nobody on. Top of the fourth inning, 2-1. The Tigers lead the Royals. Brett leaning back. Takes it ball free outside. George showed a lot of power last year at 22 homers. And he looks at a strike. George Maloney, kind of a deliberate ball and strike caller behind the plate. Brett had to wait, take a look, and then Maloney made the sign it was a strike. Here's the pitch. Strike called. He put the inside corner. Brett buckling out of the way, and he has a word or two for Maloney. Tough to pitch to George Brett. Good bat control. He'll go to all fields. He swings and pops it up to the right side of the infield. Whitaker is calling for it. Lou pounds the glove. He has it. There are two down. And Whitaker's been a busy second baseman. That'll bring up Al Collins. Collins flied to right. He is one time up. Collins had that great year last year. As Ernie pointed out, he finished second in the most valuable player balloting behind Rod Carew. He was the Royals player of the year. He's off to a bit of a slow start for him this year. Dips that bat. He takes it high for a ball. Holds the bat quite oddly. He has that dark-hued bat. Waves it down by the plate and then drops it over his shoulder. The pitch. It's in for a strike. There was the off-speed breaking ball from Billingham. Collins burst forth with power last year, too, for the Royals. There's strike two call, same kind of pitch. Big, slow breaking pitch from Billingham. He rocks back. The 1-2 delivery. Strike three called. He had him looking at all three. Well, that's all for the Royals in the fourth inning. They go down 1-2-3. Here come the Tigers in their half with the score Detroit 2, Kansas City 1.
It's the last half of the ninth, and you're at bat in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. Who holds the record for most runs batted in a single season? Take a while to think about it. Maybe you can come up with the answer over a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer. The record is held by Hack Wilson of the Chicago Cubs. Hack knocked in an incredible 190 runs in 1930. But Wilson had a lot of help that year. He belted a National League record 56 home runs. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt. Called for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
Gradually, we're getting some ticker service tonight, and we'll be filling you in as they begin to come in. Some of the National League games have been going, but we had no information on the starting pitchers. Over in Cleveland, there in the 6th inning, the Indians lead Minnesota 3-1. Here's Aurelio Rodriguez. He takes the fastball low. Aurelio is the difference in this ball game. His 2-run home run, a line drive just over the fence and left in the 2nd inning, the only hit off Splittorff. Here's the pitch. Swung on a ground ball to short. Washington has it. To throw the first, he got him. One away in the Tiger 4th inning. That'll bring up Parrish. Parrish hit a long fly ball that moved Poquette right up to the auxiliary scoreboard in left field. Splittorff has walked a pair. No strikeouts. He's won 3 in a row now. Has a 7-4 record. Outside for a ball. The left-hander winds, kicks, and fires. It's a little low, 2-0 on Parrish. Well, Splittorff had a fine season last year, winning 16 of 22 decisions. The 2-0 pitch. Ball 3 to Parrish. Tigers loading up their lineup wherever possible with right-hand batters against the left-hander Splittorff. The 3-0 pitch to Parrish. He takes the strike. Bob Sykes goes against Dennis Leonard in the 2nd game of this series tomorrow afternoon. 3-1 pitch. Strike called. Parrish about to throw the bat away. Maloney has a deliberate call on the strike and makes it look like the players are trying to show him up. Brett almost went to first when he took a strike. Parrish almost goes to first. So it's a full count on Lance. Splittorff ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the screen. Lance took a pretty good cut at that one. Now the 3-2 pitch to Parrish. Ball 4. That was outside. The 3rd walk issued by Splittorff. And it'll bring up Johnny B. Walkenfuss. Royals came into the ball game trailing in the American League's Western Division by 3 games. As Ernie pointed out, that was a tough doubleheader loss. It enabled the Rangers, by winning both games by a single run over the Royals, to move past them into 2nd place in the Western Division. And the Royals dropped 3 games back of the front-running Oakland A's. Here's the pitch. Swung on a bouncer to right field. A base hit on the hit and run. Parrish heads for 3rd. Collins up with the ball. Runners at 1st and 3rd and 1 away. Perfectly placed by John Walkenfuss. He just went with the pitch, punched it to right field as Parrish took off on the pitch. That's the 2nd Tiger hit of the ball game. A pretty thing when it's executed right, and it was that time. Parrish at 3rd. Walkenfuss at 1st, 1 down, and the batter will be shortstop Alan Trammell. Now the first baseman Hurdle checking out with Splittorff to tell him how he's going to play the runner Walkenfuss here. They kind of bunch up the middle on Trammell. Washington and White crowding 2nd. Here's the set. And the pitch to Allen. It's low and away. Ball 1 on Trammell. The set by Splittorff. He delivers. Swung on and popped foul. It'll be out of play. Unreachable by Hurdle. Flexed into the upper deck. The spectacled Paul Splittorff, the tall left-hander, ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Trammell. Moved him back. 2-1 on Allen. Stiff breeze blowing in from right field tonight. And a fine turnout here on Polish American night. Here's the pitch from Splittorff. Ball 3 around the ankles. Runners at 1st and 3rd with 1 down. Splittorff has given up a 1-out walk and a single to Walkenfuss here in the 4th inning. Here's the set. And the pitch to Allen. He swings and fouls it back into the stands. We've got a full count now. Trammell out of the batter's box, settling back in. Tigers lead it 2-1. They've got 2 on with 1 down in the 4th inning. Fedorf delivers, swung on and fouled out of play. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
America's great radio station. This is WJR Detroit. The weather outlook, mostly fair and mild tonight, low 48 to 50. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy and warm through the afternoon, high 80 to 83. Currently, a mostly sunny 72 degrees.
There's a swing by Trammell, a looper to right center field, and a drop in for a base hit. 1 run is scored. Wockenfuss stumbles and falls. He's caught off second, and he's out. He fell down as he rounded the bag, tried to get back, and he was cut down on a throw from Collins to White. Right fielder to the second baseman. Oh, and that nipped what could be a bigger inning for Detroit. A single by Alan Trammell scores Parrish from third, but Wockenfuss stumbled out of the bag as he tried to round it, and in trying to return was cut down on a throw from right field. Trammell picks up an RBI single. He's at first, but there are 2 out. Now the Tigers in front 3-1. A little soft looper to right field. Here's Lou Whitaker. Throw to first. Trammell gets back. Another toss to first, and Allen is standing in the bag. 3-1, the Tigers lead. The pitch to Whitaker. He fouls this one back of the plate. Brett playing in quite close at third on the left-hand hitting Whitaker. The pitch to Lou. He moves out of the way. It's a ball, 1-1 on Whitaker. Fedorf does not have overpowering stuff, but he's a smart pitcher. He swings. There's a drive to fairly deep left field. Going back is Poquette. He'll have the room, makes the catch. Now, Whitaker's been getting that ball up in the air and fairly deep to left center field of late, but there's very little to show for it when he hits it out that way. That's all for the Tigers in the 4th inning. They pick up a run on a walk and 2 hits, no errors, a man left. After 4 innings of play, it's now the Tigers 3, the Royals 1.
There's a big M sign around the corner, down the road and up the street. And there's a friend of mine around that corner, someone you all know and someone you'd be glad to meet.
You know, there's a special additive at your nearby Marathon station. Something that can add value to your life and the life of your car. Something you can get only at your Marathon station. What it is your Marathon Man. Because your Marathon Man is somebody who believes it's not old-fashioned to give people what they pay for, plus a little bit more. He's there to do it better, and do it the way he'd want it done if he were you. If you don't already know him, well, you really ought to.
Don't get together with a friend who'll do it better. Go see your Marathon Man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
This is Jim Garrett. Need help sorting out a problem? Call Dialogue, 881-0270. Dialogue.
Darrell Porter, the catcher of the Royals, will step in to lead it off against Jack Billingham here in the 5th inning. Darrell getting ready to plant his foot in the back of the batter's box. He'll be followed by Poquette and Washington. Billingham into the windup, the first pitch of the inning. It's low and inside on Porter. Darrell struck out his first time up. He's been contributing offensively this season to the Royals. There's the strike. 6 home runs, 23 RBIs by Porter. He's been hitting up around the 300 mark. Swing and a bouncer to the right side. Whitaker with a big hop. The toss to Thompson, one away. That'll bring up Poquette. Poquette hit one into the wind here into right field. A deep blow that Walkenfuss had room to make the catch on back in the second inning. Normal wind here will blow out or from left field to right. Well, tonight it's switched around and blowing in from right field, and it held back that drive by Poquette. He takes it a little bit low, ball one on Poquette. 3-1, the Tigers lead the Royals here in the top of the fifth inning. Bellingham delivers. Swung on another high hopper to first. Thompson makes the play unassisted on Poquette, 2 away. Well, Bellingham's sinker is working well here tonight against the Royals. He's got him beating it into the ground. That'll bring up UL Washington. That's it. U.L. Washington. From Stringtown, Oklahoma. He's a switch hitter now. He learned to switch hit last year at Omaha. They pitch to him. He takes a strike. Coming in for the injured Freddie Patek at shortstop. Washington looks at a curve outside. 1-1. 2 out, bases empty here in the top of the fifth inning. Now the windup, the pitch. A little low. Bellingham looking in extra long that time. Now, Jack had his son with him for the trip to Milwaukee and said he enjoyed the trip over there very much. There's a strike called on Washington. Two count on UL. The pitch from Jack is taken high for a ball. Jack's son's name is John, as is his father's. Here's the pitch. It's high. Ball 4. The first walk given up by Big Jack. And Washington has very good speed at first base. The Royals trailing by 2. Herzog generally likes to have his team run. He is the type of people who can. It is an aggressive offensive team. But that ballpark in Kansas City is made for them. Here's Frank White at the plate. The set, the pitch to the plate. Swung on and missed. The off-speed breaking ball that time fooled him. Oh, White getting some recognition after blossoming as a regular second baseman with the Royals. Won a Gold Glove out there last year. Here's the set, but a throw to first, and diving back into first is Washington. White bounced out to short his first time up against Bellingham. Another throw to first. Washington got back, and it was fairly close. Now time is called. Steve Boris, the first base coach of the Royals, out to talk to UL. Three to 1, the Tigers lead here in the top of the fifth inning. 2 out, Washington at first base. The runner goes, the pitch is taken way wide, and the throw will be not in time. A great jump by Washington that time. Bellingham had thrown over there a couple of times, but you could see Washington skittering, gaining his lead, and he just took off on Bellingham. Parrish really didn't have a shot on him. Now for Washington, a stolen base puts the man in scoring position now with 2 down. And for Washington, it was his 6th steal of the year, his 7th steal. Here's the 1-1 pitch. White he checks his swing on an outside curve. 2-1 on him. We'll look to second by Bellingham. The 1-2 pitch. Ball 2 outside to White. Check that count. It's 3-1 on White. Washington getting his lead at second. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Frank. In the dirt, he takes a walk. Oh, 2 walks back-to-back, the first 2 of the ball game by Billingham here in the 5th after he got the first 2 men on bounce-outs. Washington at second, White at first. And the batter will be Willie Wilson, who bunted the first time up against Billingham, and Jack could not pick up the ball cleanly. Wilson singled to left his last time up. These 2 rookies, Washington and Wilson, both switch hitters. Wilson, good-looking athlete. He takes a strike. They say that Wilson may be the fastest man in the major leagues. .6'3", 187-pounder. Billingham's pitch swung on a bouncer past the mound deep at second. Trammell touches the bag ahead of White, and that retires the side. For the Royals in the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, a couple of walks, no errors. 2 men are left after 4.5 innings. It's Detroit 3, Kansas City 1.
I bought an economy car. Nice little car. Of course, I had to give up big car rides. I just bought a smaller car, too. I gave up a lot of passengers. But with prices going up and up, I figured you got to give up. Well, I didn't give up. I bought a new Plymouth Volare 4-door. And I didn't give up the things I want. I got the big car ride Frank gave up, the room for 6 Harry gave up, plus the compact economy they didn't give up. So why didn't they buy a Volare? I give up.
No compromise when you economize. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a 1-barrel, 6-cylinder Volare 4-door with manual transmission at 28 miles per gallon highway and 20 cities. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Volare.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Get a Volare.
For a great value on Plymouth Volare, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Tigers coming to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now there are some 100 people from Hutzville Hospital in the medical center on hand at the ball game tonight out in sections 211 and 212, hoping they're enjoying Tiger baseball. Here's Ron LaFleur leading off the Tigers' 5th inning. Splitoff pitches. It swung on a hopper to short. Washington has it to throw. He got him. It was close. That ball didn't get to shortstop that rapidly, and Washington had to really gun it to cut down Ron. 1 away in the Tiger 5th inning. That'll bring up Kemp. Steve, for the second time, batting up in the number 2 position. He collected 3 hits. And they wind up with a series in Milwaukee Wednesday night. Tonight against Splittorf, he's grounded to second and walked. Here's the windup and the pitch from the left-hander. It's taken low, ball 1 on Steve. Splittorf delivers. It's fouled back into the 3rd deck off the facing of the press deck behind the plate. Look out below. Ooh. Almost took care of the Tigers team doctor down there, Dr. Carnes Livingood. The pitch to Steve Kemp. Outside, 2-1. Kemp bunts it, foul down the first base side, rolling back toward the on-deck circle. Now, Ernie and I'd like to wish some get-well greetings to Mr. Joseph Glaser of St. Clair Shores, recovering from surgery in South Macomb Hospital in Warren. Hope Mr. Glaser gets better rapidly and enjoys Tiger baseball this summer. Two count on Kemp. The pitch from Splittorf. Swung on and fouled out of play down the left field side. 1 out, bases empty here in the Tiger 5th inning. It is a chilly night now at the ballpark, but the sky is almost clear. Looking for great weather the rest of this series tomorrow afternoon and Sunday afternoon. The pitch to Kemp. Fouled away again behind the plate. Well, Kemp is giving the fans some souvenirs right now. He wiggles the bat. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Low and away. Outfield playing straight up on Kemp. Infield shades him a little bit to the right side. The pitch to Steve. Swung on. There's a one-hopper to short. Washington deep behind second. Throws to first. And it pulls the first baseman off. Hurdle drops it. It's up the right field line. Kemp digs for second, and he's in standing at second. We'll wait for the decision by the scorer. The throw was down the line toward the plate, toward the runner, as Kemp was coming in. Hurdle couldn't handle it, and I think it hit the runner, Kemp, and rolled down the line. It will be a base hit for Kemp, and then an error on Washington for the throw, which pulled Hurdle off the bag and wound up hitting the runner, Kemp. So Steve's at second. One away, and the batter will be Rusty. That's the second error committed tonight by Kansas City. The Tigers committed 2 in the first inning. Rusty waits. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He takes it inside for a ball. In the 7th inning at Cleveland, the Indians leading Minnesota 6-1. Texas in front of Chicago now in the 3rd inning at Arlington 2-0. And Milwaukee has a 1-0 lead over Toronto after 1 inning in Milwaukee. Here's the pitch to Staub. He swings, lifts a fly ball to short left field. Coming on is Poquette, still coming on. He makes the catch. And Kemp returns to second base. So they're 2 down, and it's up to Jason Thompson to do something here in the 5th inning. 3 American League games are late starters out on the West Coast. The Yankees playing at Anaheim, Baltimore and Oakland, and Boston at Seattle. 1 game this afternoon, the Cubs wound up beating Chicago 5-0. Dennis Lamp pitching a fine 1-hitter for Chicago. Thompson is 0 for 2. Safe on an error in the 2nd inning. He scored ahead of Aurelio Rodriguez's home run. That gave the Tigers a 2-1 lead. The Tigers added a run in the 4th on a single by Alan Trammell. The pitch to Thompson. Swung on a bouncer to the right side. Frank White, the second baseman, has it over to Hurdle, and the Tigers are retired in the 5th inning. No runs, a hit, and an error. They leave a man after 5 innings of play. It's the Tigers 3, the Royals 1.
I got grease on my fingers, oil on my shoes, and I'm always under the hood. But I wouldn't change places with anyone else, even if I could. I worked on every car, big and small, every kind of engine too. And there's one thing that applies to them all, whether they're old or new. You can't buy better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. Some folks don't mind working in a big place, being part of a team. I prefer just me and that engine, nobody in between. You can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. No, you can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion.
This game is being brought to you by Labatt's. For beer at its finest, call for Labatt's. By Marathon dealers and distributors, people who've got together to do it better. By the Greta Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers, who've got Horizon, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. By Champion Spark Plugs. You can't buy a better plug than Champion. By the Detroit News. For the first good news in sports every morning, read the new Detroit News AM edition. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it. Now, more Tiger baseball action with Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey.
6th inning here at Tiger Stadium. Detroit in front 3-1 over Kansas City. Hal McRae, the DH of the Royals, to lead it off. He drove in the Kansas City run with a bounce out in the 1st inning. It's a ball outside to Hal. Bellingham into the motion. Here's the pitch. Bounce foul. Ooh, over the Tiger dugout. That one went into the crowd in a hurry. Breeze seems to be picking up instead of dying down as the evening progresses. The pitch from Bellingham inside almost hit McRae. 2-1 on Hell. He'll 2-1 on Hell. He'll be followed by Hurdle and Brett in the Royals' 6th inning. The windup. Here's the pitch. Bouncer down the third base line. Foul. Gloved by Rodriguez. Over in front of Chuck Hiller, the third base coach. One-time Tiger Steve Boris does the coaching at first for the Royals. Two balls, two strikes. They count on Hal McRae. Bellingham taking a little time, getting the sign from Lance Parrish into the motion. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball lifted to right field. It's fairly deep. Walkenfuss now circles under it. He waits and has it. One away in the 6th inning. We'll bring up Hurdle. A much proclaimed rookie. Or acclaimed, I guess. Most valuable player in the American Association last year at Omaha. He swings and bounces one to Thompson, wide of the bag. Bellingham racing to cover, and he beats Hurdle to the bag for the putout. Thompson moved very quickly on that hard smash, headed toward right field to make the play, and Bellingham got over just a step ahead of Hurdle. 2 down in the 6th inning. That'll bring up George Brett. Brett has a single to right and popped out to second. Brett in there with that open stance of his, leaning on that back leg. He swings. There's a fly ball to right center field. It's deep. Walkenfuss on the warning track, circles in now, makes the catch, and that's all for the Royals. That one was stopped down a bit by the wind coming in from right. The Royals set down in order by Bellingham in the 6th inning. And after 5.5 innings of play, it's the Tigers 3, Kansas City 1.
Well, a lot of fun at the ballpark tonight. It is Polish American night. We've got a good turnout here. And we'd like to salute some folks. Mr. and Mrs. Ed Cornelia of Birmingham, Michigan, celebrating their 51st wedding anniversary. Ms. Edith Evans of Detroit, Michigan, celebrating a birthday. And Miss Sandy Joyce Davis of Cuthbert, Georgia, celebrating a birthday. Also, Murray and Helen Van Wagener of Birmingham, Michigan, celebrating their 54th wedding anniversary. All loyal Tiger fans, and we send our best to them. Got a lot of folks here tonight in various groups. The Steelworkers Union here, represented by their staff, Jim Hughes, Ted Novak, and families. Longtime Tiger fans. We're glad to have them with us. Don't forget the Tigers play again tomorrow here. It'll be Tiger Day tomorrow, the Tigers against the Kansas City Royals. And we hope you'll make it out for that one at Tiger Stadium.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Aurelio Rodriguez stepping in to face the left-hander Paul Splittorff. I'd like to, along with Ernie Harwell, send along our best wishes on the golden wedding anniversary of Mary and Tony Derkaj from all of their family. D-E-R-K-A-C-Z. Celebrating number 50. Here's Aurelio, who hit that 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. Last time up, he grounded out to short. The first pitch to Rodriguez. He fouls it behind the plate. Tigers have 4 hits. The Royals have 2. Splittorff's pitch is taken low for a ball. Aurelio will be followed by Parrish and Walkenfuss. Rodriguez batting higher in the batting order than he has at any time this season. The pitch to him outside for a ball. And the hunch by manager Ralph Houck paid off with that 2-run homer in the 2nd inning following Thompson getting on base with an error. Here's the pitch. Slow one, tapped toward short. Big hop for Washington to throw to first. He got him. There's one down in the Tigers' 6th inning. Lance Parrish, 0 for 1 officially. Lance has flied to left and walked. He scored a run in the 4th inning, coming in on the single by Trammell. Splitoff, now 31 years of age, has the sign. Here's the pitch to Parrish. It's a fastball low and inside. Ball kicks high, and the pitch. Ball 2, it's low. Back in 1973, Splitoff became the first Kansas City pitcher of the Royals franchise to win 20 games. Low and away, 3-0 on Parrish. Splitoff a little perturbed at himself right now for failing to get that ball in to Parrish. He winds and delivers. Called strike on Lance. Splitoff has worked more innings again this season than any Kansas City pitcher. Doesn't strike out all that many, but he doesn't walk very many either. There's a little fly ball to right field. Coming in under it is Collins, waiting for it. He has it, and there are 2 down in the Tigers' 6th inning. That'll bring up Walkenfuss. Well, John executed the hit and run to perfection in the 4th inning with Parrish on first. Punched the ball to right field for a base hit, and that set up the Tigers' 3rd run. Base is empty with 2 down in the 6th inning. The flutter of the fingers, the pitch to John, and he moves back out of the way. Fastball to him. Now the windup. Here's the pitch. Ball 2, it's low to Johnny B. Royals had the upper hand last year against the Tigers, winning 8 of the 11 games. Strike called on Walkenfuss. We'll see Bob Sykes against Dennis Leonard tomorrow on Tiger Day, and then Steve Baker faces Larry Gura on VFW Day Sunday afternoon. Swinging a high fly ball foul. It'll be into the seats in the upper deck. Up on the roof, in fact. Look out below. Here it comes. Down into the lower deck beyond the bullpen. The pitch to Walkenfuss. Ground ball to short. To his right is Washington. He bobbles the ball, picks it up, throws, and he's out at first base. A good stretch by Hurdle. Picked that one out of the dirt. The big guy at first. Retired Walkenfuss, who's going to argue the play, and Dick Krasuski did too. I think he's claiming that Hurdle had to get off the bag to haul it in. But the umpire said no. McKeon called him out. That's all for the Tigers in the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3. They're retired, and after 6 innings of play, it's still the Tigers 3, the Royals 1. Royals coming to bat here in the 7th inning against Jack Billingham. Leading it off will be Al Collins, and back for the play-by-play, here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Hi again, everybody. Collins up twice. He's flied to right and struck out. So Billingham, with a 3-1 lead for the Tigers, goes to work against the Royals in the 7th inning. Right-hand batting, Collins takes the ball outside. The fastball from Jack. Porter and then Poquette will be the next 2 batters. Tigers 3 runs, 4 hits. The Royals 1 run, 2 hits. There's a fastball low and away, 2-0, the count on him. Jim Crawford beginning to loosen in the Tiger bullpen now. Billingham checks his sign, goes to work. The pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 2-1, the count on Cowan. Willie Wilson with a single, and George Brett with a single. The hits off Billingham. There's a tap foul out of play. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
America's great radio station. This is WJR Detroit. And the weather, mostly fair and mild tonight. Low in the upper 40s. Tomorrow and Sunday, mostly sunny, breezy, and warm. High tomorrow in the low 80s. High Sunday, mid-80s. Currently, it's clear and 67.
Here's a fastball wide. It is a full count now, 3-2 on Al Cowan. Billingham has walked a couple and struck out 2. He walked back-to-back batters in the 5th inning. Ground ball to Chamel. He has it. Here's the throw to Thompson. Just in time for the out. It was close. Darrell Porter batting now. He struck out and bounced to second. The Tigers got 2 runs in the 2nd on a home run by Rodriguez. And they scored again in the 4th inning on a walk to Parrish, a single by Wackenfuss, and a single by Trammell. Kansas City got their run in the opening inning on a bunt by Wilson that was bobbled by Billingham, an error on the pitcher. Wilson stole second, went to third on a throwing error by Parrish, and came home when McRae bounced to second base. So that's the story through the first 6. Porter takes a Billingham curve. It stays away from the plate. Ball 1 on Darrell. Tom Poquette waiting at the on-deck circle. There's a fastball over but low. 2-0 now on Porter. Texas leads Chicago in the 3rd inning, 2-0 down there in Texas. There's a line shot right to Trammell's glove for the out. He one-handed it. It was straight to his glove. 2 down, and I think we have the attendance. What was it, Paul?
32,309. Ernie, fine turnout.
32-309 on Polish American night. Here's Poquette. Eddie Lopat threw out the first ball tonight, the All-American League pitcher, and he didn't get the ball up to the plate. He threw one of those typical Lopat changeups. Here's a ball that gets into the strike zone, strike 1 call. Clint Courtney first reported the Yankees as a rookie catcher. Lopat was throwing the same slow stuff, that junk stuff, and Courtney went out to him, and he was a veteran pitcher, but Courtney was a rookie, and Courtney said, "Quit goosing the ball up to the plate. Throw it over." Well, Montgomery beat Memphis tonight 10-1. Chris the winner in that one. Here's a strike called on Mr. Poquette. Strike 2, the count on Tom. Left-handed batter waiting on Billingham's delivery. Here it comes. It's a ball in the dirt. Montgomery had 13 hits in that game. They won it 10-1. And Gulliver hit a home run for the Rebels, and the 6th with 1 on. Parrish going out to talk with Billingham for a moment. At Montreal, Parrish has hit a home run for Montreal in the 4th inning with 3 men on base. That sparked a 6-run surge by the Expos, and they lead the Dodgers now 10-5 at the end of 4. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's the count on Poquette. The windup and the pitch. He takes the ball outside. 2-2 on him now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Poquette. 2 down, nobody on. Tigers lead 3-1. He swings. There's a little looper hit to the glove of Rodriguez at third for the out. Nothing across. We go to the last half of the 7th inning at Tiger Stadium. Tigers 3, Royals 1.
You know, there are some basics in life that are important to most people. One of them is getting what you pay for. That's why a lot of people have gotten to be friends with their marathon man. Because they know he takes a personal interest in the well-being of their cars. An interest that goes beyond just filling the tank and checking the oil. Your marathon man still thinks wiping your windshield, checking the air in your tires, and the water in your battery are part of what you pay for when you come into this station. And your marathon man still knows how to service your car when it needs it, and how to treat you the way he likes to be treated when he's a customer. So if you haven't already gotten to be friends with your marathon man, well, you really ought to. You'll definitely get what you pay for, and probably a little bit more.
Oh, get together with the fans of good things. Go see your marathon man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better, and we do.
Alan Trammell leading it off now. The old 7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark. Tigers ahead with 3 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Royals 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 errors. There have been 4 errors in the ball game, 2 on each side. One time back in the early days of baseball, the Brooklyn team made 20 errors in 1 ball game. Here's the windup now, and the pitch on the way from Spridoff. There's a little pop fly back into short right. Going back is White, the second baseman. He has it. And there's one pitch and one out in the 7th inning. Whitaker will bat next for the Tigers. This ball game rocking right along. The Tigers with 2 in the 2nd on the Rodriguez home run, and then scored another run in the 4th on a walk to Parrish and singles by Joaquin Fuss and Trammell. Sweet Lou Whitaker with 0 for 2. Starts the bunt and takes the ball outside. The ball 1 on Lou. Milwaukee leads Toronto 4th inning at Milwaukee 1-0. Whitaker cuts, fly ball at the left center field. Wilson is there waiting. He has it. And there are 2 away. Amos Otis, who has done a good job this year for the Royals, is out of action. He hurt his Achilles tendon in the doubleheader last night down in Texas. Here's Ron LaFleur. He's bounced to shortstop twice. The middle time at bat, he drew a walk. Split off. The tall left-hander pitches. It is a ball outside on Ron. 3-1. Tigers lead, 7th inning. Next pitch is over, but it's low. 2-0 on LaFleur. Split off pitches again. There's a foul to the screen. Steve Kemp waiting on deck. 2 down, nobody on with the Tigers. They're at bat in the 7th inning. Here it comes. He takes a strike outside corner fastball. Both of these pitches are hitting the corners here tonight. Now the motion and the pitch. Cut on. There's a little fly ball to center field. Digging hard. Wilson can't get to it. It's a base hit for LaFleur. Well, the Tigers get their 5th hit of the game, and the batter will be Kemp. I had a little note here from a young lady in Temperance, Michigan. She says, I'm 12 years old, listen to the games with my dad. You like to give the guys nicknames. I've got one for Milt May, because when you say it sort of hard, it's Milky Way. And they already have a candy bar after him. That's from Charlene Smith in Temperance. Well, thank you, Charlene. When you say it kind of hard, it comes out Milky Way. Here's Kemp at the plate now with a bounce to second, a base on balls and a single. Left-hander against the left-hander. The pitch, he takes the ball outside. They pitched out, but LaFleur was hanging on at first base.
They've got one named after you, haven't they, Ernie? Powerhouse?
Oh, I don't know. They've got sort of a nutty bar, haven't they, or something?
I'm Snickers.
More like it. Here's the set, the pitch. He takes the ball in close, 2-0. Three runs, 5 hits for Detroit, 1 run, 2 hits for the Royals. Pretty close game all the way. There's a throw to first. LaFleur back in time. He edges off again. A little bit longer lead. Doesn't go. The ball is hit on a line drive off the glove of the shortstop. Washington in the right center field. Picked up now by Wilson, and LaFleur takes third. Washington, the shortstop, was moving over towards second on that drive, and he got his glove on it, but couldn't hang on. It was a vicious line shot. It hit the tip of the glove and bounded into right center field for a single. Well, that sets the table for the restaurateur now, Rusty Staub. Man on first and a man on third. 2 men down. 3-1 Tigers. Rusty 0 for 3 tonight. Fouls this one on the screen. Strike 1, the count on the veteran. He's bounced to first, hit into a force out to first, and hit a soft fly to left field. Polish American night tonight. Great ceremonies. Colorful activities prior to the game. Here's the set now. Split off pitches. There's a chopper at the plate. It'll be ruled a foul ball. Strike 2, the count on him. Cleveland leading Minnesota 6-1 in the 7th. Texas over Chicago 3-1 in the 4th. Milwaukee leading Toronto 1-0 in the 4th. Cubs beat San Diego today 5-0. Cincinnati leading the Pirates 6-1 in the fifth. Here's the set now. Spridoff ready, delivers. Staub swings and misses. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Spridoff. And it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 7, Tigers 3, Royals 1.
When I traded in my old wagon for an economy one, all my buddies said I'd have to give up a lot. You know, ride, room, and comfort. Well, I didn't give up. I got this Plymouth Valari wagon. I sure didn't give up big car rides. I didn't give up room for 6. I didn't give up comfort. Oh, I did give up one thing when I bought my Valari wagon. A lot of trips to the gas station.
Don't compromise when you economize. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a 1-barrel, 6-cylinder Valari wagon with manual transmission at 25 miles per gallon highway, 18 city. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Valari wagon, America's first choice of wagons over the past 2 years.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Give up Valari.
For a great value on Plymouth Valari, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer. WJR congratulates Harry Whiteley, recent recipient of an Ambassador of Michigan Tourism Award, for 15 years of distinguished service on the Natural Resources Commission.
Pete Lecoq, the left-hand batter, batting for UL Washington now in the 8th inning. Tigers ahead 3-1 over the KC Royals. Lecoq this year batting .194 in 28 games. There's a strike called on Pete Lecoq. Native Californian, makes his home in Phoenix now. Last year was his first with Kansas City, coming over from the Cubs. Billingham delivers. Here's a foul back upstairs, and a gentleman from Hamtramck made a good catch in the upper deck. Right above the radio booth where Denny Matthews, Fred White, and their engineer Ed Shepard are at work over there, beaming the game back to Kansas City. There's a bounding ball toward second base. Whitaker has it, flips it over to Thompson. He got it. Frank White will be the batter. Kansas City also sending this one back on television. Steve Shannon, the TV announcer, a newcomer to the TV baseball business. Here's White at the plate now. 3-1 Tigers lead, 8th inning. Billingham delivers. Here's a bunt foul down toward third base. John Hiller has begun to warm up in the Tiger bullpen. 3 runs, 6 hits for Detroit. 1 run, 2 hits for the Royals. Right-hand batting White, waiting on the next delivery. Billingham serves. It's a swing and a miss on a wide curve out of the strike zone. Shaking his head about that one after he took that cut. Slow curve, this one's high. 1-2 the count on him. Giants are leading the Mets 1-0 in the 6th inning. Montreal over the Dodgers 10-5 at the end of 5. Phillies lead Atlanta 3-1 in the 5th. There's a fly ball hit back of shortstop. Backing up is Campbell. He's there. He has it. That's 2 away in the 8th inning. Top of the batting order now, Willie Wilson, the speedster who scored the only run so far for the Royals. In the first inning, he was safe on the error by Billingham on the bunt. Stole second, went to third when Parrish threw the ball away on the stolen base, and came home when McRae bounced to second. Here's another bunt, and up comes Rodriguez, gloves it, throw to first, got him, and couldn't bunt on Aurelio, who came in and gunned it over to Thompson to get him by half a step. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the last half of the 8th inning. Tigers 3, Royals 1.
And be happy in whatever they do. Some men be happy, they always come through. Some men always seem to get it together. Those are the men who wear English leather. Some men happy, a set that's clean.
in a gift set of English leather. English leather has lots of handsome gift set ideas to wrap up any gift-giving problem.
This broadcast is made possible by the Detroit Baseball Club and the American League and is intended for the private use of our listening audience. Rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play is prohibited unless prior consent is received from WJR Detroit, the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club, and the American League. The announcers for this broadcast are selected and employed by WJR Radio and the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club. Ernie?
Thompson at the plate. New shortstop for KC. Jerry Terrell replacing UL Washington, who left for the pinch hitter Lacoste. Here's the windup by Splitoff, and Thompson looks at a fastball in close on him, ball one. 3-1, the Tigers lead it. Splitoff and the Billingham, the starters, have gone all the way. Here's the motion by the big left-hander. He deals. Here's a foul that'll reach the seats over to the left of the screen upstairs. Good catch by one of our upper deck outfielders. Splitoff into motion. Here it comes. He takes the ball low up the mid of quarter. 2-1 the count on Rooftop. He cuts. Here's a high foul off a third. Brett chasing near the tarp roll. It'll be out of his reach into the lower deck. Tiger Day here tomorrow. The same two teams go at each other. We hope you'll be out for that one. Then on Sunday, VFW Day, the finale of this three-game set. Tomorrow, Sykes versus Leonard, and on Sunday, Baker against Gura. There's a fly ball center field. Should be caught. Wilson camps under it and gloves it for the out. One up and one away, and here's the hitting hero in the Tiger scheme of things this evening, Aurelio Rodriguez. He has his fifth home run. He came with a man on in the second, and the next two times he bounced to shortstop. Paul Carey will have all the other scores on the scoreboard show when the game's over. Be sure to stay tuned for Paul. Here's a fastball high to Aurelio, ball one. Parrish on deck. Splitoff, ready to go to work. He works rather quickly. Delivers. Here's a fly ball to center. Backing up is Wilson. He's there. He has it for the out. And there are two down, both the same way. That'll bring to bat Parrish. He flat out twice in the middle turn, drew a base on ball. Wackenfuss on deck now for the Tigers. Here's a ball in close on Lance, ball one. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Detroiters. The Royals 1 run and 2 hits. Cuts and fouls it away upstairs to the right of our booth. Our booth at Tiger Stadium, located just to the right of home plate, almost behind it, a little bit to the right of it. Hung down from the second deck. There's a ball low. 2-1 the count. Splitoff goes into action again. He pitches. Swing and a foul out of play. Back of the plate. 2-2 on the Tiger catcher Parrish. Now he digs in, waiting on the 2-2 delivery. Cuts and fouls it off. That one to the screen. That's the Texas-Chicago game now in the 5th inning, and the Texans lead it 3-1 over the White Sox. White Sox have been hot lately. Swing, he struck him out on a curve. It's the second strikeout for Swidler. Nothing across for Detroit. We go to the ninth inning. Tigers 3, Royals 1.
Can you afford to throw money away at the supermarket, in your car, where you bank? City National Bank knows every nickel counts. That's why there's a big difference between City National and those other banks that charge you for writing checks.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
City National Bank saves you money again with combo checking. Keep a minimum of $200 in checking or savings. You write all your checks without charge. All your checks without charge. Combo checking. No other bank in Michigan has it. No statement fees. No charge for checks. Don't throw your money away on annoying service charges on checks. Come on in and open a City National Bank charge-free combo checking account now.
Who's got it? Nobody has City National Bank.
Also available at National Bank of Rochester and First Citizens Bank in Troy.
Get your Tigers bumper sticker from your Marathon Man, a full-service dealer. Now available at your participating Marathon service station. No purchase necessary.
Ninth inning on tap. Tigers lead it 3-1 over the Royals, and Tim Corcoran has replaced Walkenfuss in right field for the Tigers. Here comes McRae to bat in the first half of the ninth inning. At one time in baseball, it was not necessarily true that the home team batted last. In 1886, for instance, the teams in the National League, which was the major league at that time, still tossed a coin before each game, and the winner of the coin toss had his choice of batting first or last. McRae swings and fouls it away. Then it became a custom later on that the home team would always bat last. 3 runs and 6 hits for Detroit, 1 run and 2 hits for the Royals. Billingham into action, delivers. Here's a change-up that's outside. 1-1 on his old teammate McRae. Mac, one of the few baseball players I know about who ever took ballet to help him in baseball. Here's the pitch. It is a ball wide at 2-1. Hurdle, the rookie first baseman, bats next. Outside and low, 3-1 on McRae. The Tigers have a 2-run lead. The Royals get a man on. That brings the tying run to the plate. Ninth inning, Billingham rocks and delivers. There's a walk, and McRae starts the inning with a base on ball. Hiller throwing in the bullpen. Here's Hurdle, the left-hand batting rookie. That's the third walk issued by Billingham. Before he walked McRae, he had set down 10 Royals in a row. Hurdle is bounced twice to second and once to first base, 0 for 3. Infield in double play depth. He bends at the knees. Big, strong-looking young fellow. Swings at the bounding ball to right. Base hit. McRae will turn, go to third. Up with the ball is Corcoran. He flips it back into Whitaker, and the Royals are in business. They've got runners at first and third, nobody out. And here comes manager Ralph Howe for the Tigers. One of the best hitters in the business. Due up next, George Brett, the cleanup man for the Royals. And he is a left-hand batter. Oh, Ralph has not yet indicated that he wants Hiller, but he's got him ready if he needs him. Man on first and a man on third and nobody down. And the sign has now been given. John Hiller has been summoned from the bullpen. That's going to be all for Billingham, who pitched a strong game through 8 innings. And here in the ninth has given up a walk and a single, only the third hit that he's allowed. But the Tigers now in trouble with the tying runs on the bases. In the ninth inning, nobody out, and the Tigers lead it 3-1.
Well, Hiller coming in a tight spot now. John has pitched extremely well of late. And Ralph is going to his ace. We're getting word that with this appearance in the ball game here tonight by John Hiller, he now has tied Hal Newhouser for the fourth position on the all-time Tiger pitching list in terms of number of games appeared in. Now, Hiller comes on here in the ninth inning to replace Billingham, who has pitched an excellent ball game. He walked Hal McRae on a 3-1 pitch. And then a high hopper that just got through into right field. Jason Thompson was holding on the bag with McRae, not at his normal first base position, and Jason just simply could not get over in time. He just barely got away from the bag, and it was already into right field. And one of those cases where with a runner at first, it opened up the gap along the right field line, and Hurdle just bounced it down into right field to get on base. Runners at first and third with nobody out. Hiller has worked last in Milwaukee last Thursday, or against the Milwaukee Brewers here, I should say. And he pitched an inning and two-thirds of hitless shutout relief. And a couple of days before against Baltimore, he pitched 2 innings of hitless shutout relief. Has done an excellent job for the Tigers. Hiller has saved 6 times, and he's out to do it again here. Ernie?
And the Tigers have found a little turbulence here in the ninth inning. Fasten your seatbelt. Man at first, man at third, nobody down, and Brett at the plate against John Hiller. Well, the veteran left-hander takes his step position and delivers. Brett swings and pops it up over toward the shortstop. Trammell is there. He has it. One away. Brett, first ball hitting, pops to Alan Trammell. Al Cowens, the right-hand batting outfielder, will be up next against Hiller. Foucault is getting ready in the bullpen. Tigers are backing up into double play depth now against Cowens. Man on third and a man on first. That's McRae at third base, Hurdle at first base. Thompson will hold with a runner at first, Hurdle. Rodriguez will play deep at third and guard the line here in the late innings. Ninth inning, Tigers lead 3-1. 1 out, 2 men on for the Royals. Hiller in relief for the start of Billingham. Takes his set at the mound, kicks and deals, and it's a strike called on Cowens. That was a fastball belt high. Darrell Porter waiting on deck for KC. Ninth inning dramatics at Tiger Stadium. And the pitch. He swings and misses on a breaking ball. Strike 2, the count on Cowens. Now steps away from the plate. Scraping around with his spikes. Not quite ready to get back in there. Hiller ahead of him with 2 strikes. McRae at third and Hurdle at first base. Here's the stretch. Here's the pitch. He swings, fly ball left field. Normal depth. Kemp is under it. He has it. McRae tags. He's headed home. The throw will go to second. McRae will score to cut the Tiger lead to 3-2. Holding at first is Hurdle. And there are 2 out with a man on. And the batter will be the left-hand hitting catcher, Darrell Porter. It's an RBI sacrifice for Cowens, getting McRae home after the catch by Kemp in left field. Porter has been called back, and Amos Otis is at the on-deck circle. He's not officially in the game yet. They have not officially announced him. Now, George Maloney says Otis is officially in the game. Amos Otis, the right-hand batting outfielder. I told you that Amos was not in the starting lineup. He injured Achilles tendon in Texas last night. He's hitting an even 300 for the season. 7 home runs and 31 runs batted in. Oh, Amos swinging a couple of sticks. He's not quite ready to get in there. And Hiller waiting for him to come to bat. Two down, a man at first base. Ninth inning, the Tigers have a 1-run margin over the Royals, 3-2. Otis is batting for Porter. Hiller making Otis wait a little bit. They've got a battle of nerves here in the ninth inning. Poquette is on deck for KC. Otis is still not ready. Hiller peering in. Now Parrish down to give him the sign. Otis in the batter's box. 2 out, 1 on, 9th inning. And the pitch. He swings and misses on a change. Starting him off on a changeup. Hiller has said that he does not want to use his changeup as much as he has in previous seasons. He feels that some of the batters are waiting for it. Oh, he started Otis out with that change. Now Amos steps away to the plate, taking a couple of practice swings. Reese settles in there. Man on first hurdle, not much of a lead for him. 2 out in the 9th inning. The pitch on the way. It's a ball in close. That was the fastball, 1-1. Big, enthusiastic crowd here tonight. We hope you'll join us tomorrow. Tiger Day out here tomorrow. The same 2 teams do battle against each other. Now Otis not quite ready. Hiller was, and Otis wasn't. So who is going to outweight the other guy? Rodriguez deep at third near the line. Thompson holding on the bag with the runner hurdle. Set by Hiller. He pitches. Here's a foul out of play. Upstairs. That's Wallace's station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Look for mostly fair and mild weather through the weekend. A low tonight, 48 to 50. High tomorrow, low 80s. High Sunday, mid 80s. Currently, it's clear and 67. You're listening to America's great radio station, WJR Detroit.
Otis is still not ready to get in there with that 1-2 count on him. Crowd beginning to yell now. 2 down, 9th inning. Tigers lead 3-2. Man at first, 2 men out for the Royals. And Otis again steps away from the plate. Now he's in there to wait on Hiller's 1-2 delivery. To set the pitch. He swings and misses. The game's over. Hiller protects the lead, and the Tigers win the first game of the series. In the 9th inning for Kansas City, 1 run, 1 hit. No Tiger errors, 1 man left in the final and the opening game of the 3-game set at Tiger Stadium. Detroit 3 and the Royals 2.
You're the designated hitter in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. Here's the pitch. Who was the first pitcher to hit a home run in the World Series? While you're thinking about it, take a breather and pour yourself a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer. The answer? It was Jim Bagley Sr. of the Cleveland Indians. Jim hit his home run in the 1920 Fall Classic against the old Brooklyn Robins and went on to win the game by the score of 8-1. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt. Call for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Imports Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
Some excellent pitching on both sides tonight in the opener of this 3-game weekend series. The Tigers coming out on top by the margin of just 1 run, 3-2, as Jack Billingham, getting some help in the 9th inning from John Hiller, pitched the Tigers to the victory. The totals for Detroit: 3 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. For Kansas City, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Billingham allowing the 3 runs, or I beg your pardon, the 3 hits and the 2 runs. He was charged with a run in the 9th inning as well on the sacrifice fly by Al Collins. Hiller coming on to get the 3 putouts as he recorded his 7th save. Billingham winning his 5th against 3 defeats. The loss going to Paul Splittorff, who went all the way for Kansas City. Paul pitching an excellent ball game as well, a 6-hitter, but his 3-game personal winning streak comes to an end here tonight as the Tigers nip him by a run. Splittorff's record now 7 wins and 5 defeats. I'll be back to check the scoring out after these messages.
I know a friend when I see one, and I know a good thing when I get it. I know
That's why when you're taking care of something important like your car, it's good to do business with somebody you know by his first name. Somebody who takes you and your car personally and treats it like it was his own. Somebody you ought to know. Your Marathon man.
Go get together with a friend of good sense. Go see your Marathon man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better. And we do.
Did you know that the odds are 2-1 that the favorite horse in any given race will not win? But I'll bet you can't find a track in the country to take the bet. That's a WJR Sports Stat. I'm Frank Beckman.
Well, the big crowd of 32,309 on hand here at Polish American Night had just settled back into their seats after enjoying the colorful pregame program when the Kansas City Royals jumped in front of the very first inning. Willie Wilson, the sensationally fast outfielder with the Kansas City Royals, led off and bunted on Jack Billingham. Billingham came off the mound to bobble the ball and didn't have a play on Wilson at first. It went as an error. Then Wilson stole second, and when the throw got passed into center field, Wilson picked himself up and went to third, an error charge to the catcher Lance Parrish. And Wilson then promptly scored on a bounce out by Hal McRae. Now, the Royals had scored a run without a hit. They did get a hit in that first inning later by George Brett. A single to right, but Brett was cut down attempting to steal. And that was their only run, as it turned out, until the ninth inning when Al Collins hit his sacrifice fly off John Hiller after Hal McRae had led off with a walk and took third on a single by Clint Hurdle. In between, Billingham was tough. He gave up one hit over those 7 interim innings. For the Tigers, they took the lead in the second inning. After they'd been retired in order by Splithoff in the first, Jason Thompson was safe on an error by third baseman Brett in the second inning when he tried to cut off a ball in front of short. And then Aurelio Rodriguez hit a line drive home run to the lower deck in left field, his 5th of the year. It scored Thompson ahead of him and put the Tigers in front 2-1. The Tigers added their other run in the 4th inning with 1 out. Parrish walked, took third on a hit-and-run single to right by John Walkenfuss. Alan Trammell then looped a single to right center field to score Parrish. Walkenfuss stumbled going around the bag at second and was cut down there at second. And that kind of deadened the rally for the Tigers. But as it turned out, that was the winning run of the ball game in the 4th, the single by Alan Trammell. The Tigers coming up a 1-run victor over Kansas City in the first meeting of these two ball clubs this year. It was a quick ball game tonight. It took only 1 hour and 55 minutes. And the total attendance again, 32,309. Tomorrow afternoon, game 2 of the series will find Bob Sykes going for Detroit against Dennis Leonard. Leonard has won 4 and lost 9. Sykes is 3-3. And our broadcast coverage tomorrow will begin at 2 o'clock with Ernie Harwell's pregame program. That's the story from Tiger Stadium for tonight. For Ernie, this is Paul Carey saying so long. Once again, the final score, the Detroit Tigers 3, the Kansas City Royals 2.
You've been listening to Detroit Tiger Baseball 1978, brought to you by Labatt. For beer at its finest, call for Labatt, Canada's #1 beer. By your Marathon dealers and Marathon distributors, people who got together to do it better. By your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers, who've got Horizon, Motor Trend Magazine's Car of the Year. By Champion Spark Plugs. Treat your car to a fresh set of Champions. They're the world's #1 seller. And you can't buy a better plug than Champion. By the Detroit News. For the first good news in sports every morning, read the Detroit News AM edition at newsstands at 6:30 every morning. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking, 2 ways to check without charges. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it.